So who would you say is responsible for the life you have right now? Who is responsible for it? You were brought up from babyhood, all of us were, and you have had experiences, good ones, bad ones. Who is responsible? Let's answer these questions right now. Now, who can be responsible? Let's really go deep into this. It's your life. Somebody needs to be responsible for all the good, bad, ugly that has happened in your life. Who is responsible? What do you think? Who do you think? You are responsible? Or your parents are responsible? Or an authority figure in your life is responsible? If you didn't choose you as your answer, maybe you chose your parents or an authority figure. Why do you say it's your parents or an authority figure? Why do you say so? Why do you say it's anyone else but you, especially the bad things that have happened to you? Because we're talking about your life right now. We're not talking about your life later or before. No, right now, all the life you've lived up till today, right now, who is responsible? Well, we can say you are right if you say it's your parents, an authority figure, or anybody else aside from you. But research has told us that once you're 7 years of age, you have decided who you are going to be. You have decided this is the kind of human being I'm going to be, this kind of girl, boy, man, woman I'm going to be. And so based on that, even though you are guided when you are young to make choices, decisions, you can say yes, you can say no. You can say, I don't want to. And your parents or the authority figure in your life will say, oh, she doesn't like that food. Oh, he doesn't like to go for football. No, he prefers basketball. Because you can say yes, you can say no. You've decided what you like, what you don't like, what you want to eat, what you don't want to eat. I have 3 grandchildren. The firstborn, he does not like vegetables. But the second, my granddaughter and my other grandson, oh my goodness, cucumbers, celery, name it, they'll have it all. And there's nothing we can do about it. He's only 10, the eldest is 10. The others are, under the 6 and under the age of 6. So, you can't push them then. They like it, they don't like it. Hey, so they have begun to make decisions for themselves. So now let's talk about trauma, damage, and ignorance. So I know many of you have been traumatized. I was traumatized. It's just that in my case, I did not know I was traumatized till maybe about 2 years ago. That, oh, is that trauma? Because I went to certify as a trauma-informed care specialist. And it was during my certification I realized, oh my gosh, oh dear. I was traumatized. So I know if you've been traumatized, it hurts. And I know it still hurts sometimes. I know you react sometimes. I know sometimes you don't respond. And I also know that sometimes you keep away from certain people. I know you're probably not speaking to some persons in your life. But let me tell you something. And I mean this with all the gentility in my heart possible. If you're still behaving like that because of trauma in your past, you're still living in the trauma. You are in the trauma, you are living there, you've made a decision to be there. I'm not talking about being there physically, I'm talking about being there mentally. There's a man, maybe some of you have seen the video, a black man, who was in jail for, I think it was 46 or 25 years, 25, 30 years, something like that. But more than 25 years. And they found out he wasn't guilty. He was released, I think, 2 years ago. Graying hair. And they said, how did you cope? He said, I was in the prison, but the prison was not in me. That's the difference. You are traumatized, but the trauma, you can decide that the trauma happened to you, but you now need to happen to the trauma. You need to traumatize trauma. You do not allow the pain of the trauma to get into you. That's what I mean by, if you're still behaving like this, not talking to somebody, still crying, it hurts. You know that word that they use called triggered. Oh, I was triggered by this, I was triggered by that. You are no longer triggered. You don't allow yourself to be triggered. You choose not to live there. Rather, you leave. Traumatize your trauma. It's your life. You are responsible. Traumatize your trauma. Let me say it better. Traumatize the trauma, because it's not yours. Traumatize that trauma. It starts with how you think. Like, I'm going to traumatize that trauma. It's going to wish it never happened to me. That does not mean you go and hurt anybody. You go and, fight and shout and scream, but traumatize that trauma. Maybe you are damaged in some way. It could be physical damage, but mostly it's mental damage. So you probably got a damaged mind. That does not mean you'll be damaged forever. Never. Something about it and get help. 2 are better than 1. When you and your coach agree on healing, that's what's going to happen. 2 are better than 1, for they have a good reward for their labor. Don't stay there and say, oh, what happened to me? You don't understand. You are right. I don't understand. It didn't happen to me. It happened to you. However, you can sort it out. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to be there. And sometimes it's hard to do it by yourself. Get help. Contact me. Reach out to me. Leave a comment under the video and let me know that you need me to reach out to you as well. Or go into the Facebook or Instagram, How to Think with the number 2, and you reach me. And let's talk about ignorance. Ignorance means to be unaware, to not know. So you are ignorant of something you did not know, but now you're a big girl, you're a big boy. Choose to know. I think I said this on one of the videos where something was wrong with the generator. I live in Nigeria. And when the engineer came to fix it, all he did was press something, push something in, and it started working. It took him less than 2 minutes. I said, what? I asked him what he did. He showed it to me. I said, it will never happen to me again. I'm not going to be ignorant. Next time if this generator decides not to start, I know what to do. It actually happened this morning. It did not start. I just opened the part, pushed it in, switched it on, generator started. Ignorance is expensive. It's costly. Choose to know and go and know. It's not a feather in your heart to say, well, I'm not an engineer. I don't know anything about it. You don't have to know everything about the generator, but just know specific things so that you don't have to wait for anybody. I could have been waiting all day today because he is just arriving since morning for him to come. If I did not know, if I did not ask that question, ask questions. And finally, please take responsibility. Your thoughts affect your own life. Think about that. Look, this is my life now. I'm a big girl, I'm a big boy. If I keep thinking they did it, that happened, you're moving away from taking responsibility. Take responsibility is one of the 52 fundamentals of how to think to win. If you don't take responsibility for you, who are you giving the work, the job, the responsibility of making things work right for you? Take responsibility. It starts with how you think. I hope this serves you. Hit that notification bell, subscribe to my channel, and look forward to another video tomorrow. See ya. Bye-bye.